Hi, this is Catherine. This is Taking Tea with Catherine. This is mixed berry and hibiscus tea from Ahmad Tea. It's a very nice, soothing, warm tea. You can have it iced too, you know. Tastes like mixed berries and hibiscus. No more explanation needed. Um, I have been noticing on BookTube lately a little tradition. I don't know if it's a new one that people are trying to make into a thing, or if it's something that had begun many years past and now it's being revived. I don't know, don't care, because I'm just happy about it. And that is Poetry Thursday. So I think it's kind of like Tag Tuesday, Friday Reads, stuff like that. You don't have to do things on a particular day of the week, but it's kind of fun to join in on something. And I thought, let me see if I can make this a habit. If I don't, that's okay too. If I occasionally, sometimes like with Friday Reads, I don't do Friday Reads every Friday. I don't do tags every Tuesday, but when I do it, I enjoy it. And so I thought, let me start in July. Well, it's not the first Thursday in July for sure, but I thought, well, it's Jane Austen July, so let me read a poem by a poet who was a contemporary of Jane Austen's. And I don't think of him specifically in relation to Jane Austen, but for sure they were contemporaries. And I do actually have this book, oh, where is it? That I haven't started yet, Jane and Dorothy. I plan to start it soon, and this is the lives of Jane Austen and Dorothy Wordsworth. She was the sister of William Wordsworth, who I'm going to read from today. And I thought, well, that's kind of a connection to Jane Austen, right? He was one of the early Romantic poets, and very good one, I think. Excuse me. And I thought I'd pick one of the not very long ones, because we're not going to go on here for 1,000 years. Some of these poets could write just for days. But I found one that's a little bit sad. And I know some people don't like sad poetry, but you know, it could be interesting too. And I thought, you know, this time of year for me is not, besides the Jane Austen things, it's not really my favorite time of year, because there has been quite a lot of death, particularly this part of July coming up. And so death is in the mind of myself and other people I know. And Jane Austen died in July as well. Not that I want to get, you know, all into that right now. But I thought, so I'm going to pick a poem that's a little bit about death. So it's kind of sad, but it's short. And I thought it works because it also has something to do with another Catherine. So it's preface. It says 1815. That is definitely within Jane Austen's lifetime. It's the poem is called Surprised by Joy, Impatient as the Wind. And it says, this was in fact suggested by my daughter Catherine long after her death. So a little bit sad. So a little bit of a small font here. So let's see how well I can read this. Surprised by joy, impatient as the wind, I turned to share the transport. Oh, with whom but thee, deep buried in the silent tomb, that spot which no vicissitude can find. Love, faithful love, recall thee to my mind. But how could I forget thee? Through what power, even for the least division of an hour, have I been so beguiled as to be blind to my most grievous loss? That thought's return was the worst pang that sorrow ever bore, save one only, when I stood forlorn, knowing my heart's best treasure was no more, that neither present time nor years unborn could to my sight that heavenly face restore. Yeah, it's not exactly a cheerful poem, I know. But I thought there was a little bit of a lesson. Not that I want to get all Victorian on you guys, but I thought there was a bit of a lesson to glean from this poem. How many times have you been, I don't know, surprised by joy? In other words, something that you saw that you thought was interesting, for instance. Maybe something, some part of nature, or sometimes something you saw in the news. I don't know if you could ever be surprised by joy in the news, but maybe a funny episode of a TV show that you watched or something. And your first thought was of a person that you wanted to share that with. And it's like you kind of, for a moment, look for them, and then you suddenly realize, oh, they're not here, they're gone, they died. I mean, this could even happen to someone who's still alive and just doesn't live near you, but at least nowadays, if you want to share something with someone pretty much anywhere on earth that is who is alive, you can send them a text message or something. So really it applies mostly to someone who you lost in death. I mean, you want to share some joy in your life or something interesting with them. And then not only do you realize, okay, they're dead, but then the pain of it comes back to you, the sense of loss. So I don't want to leave you in a complete, funk right now about that. But what I took away from it, and I'm not exactly sure if this was his intention, but I thought, where, almost like carpe diem, but not as, ambitious. But the people around you who you really care about, who are still alive, there's plenty of people who, the longer you live, you're going to lose people. And I don't like to say that, but those who are still walking the earth that you can spend time with. Obviously the past year or so, a lot of people didn't get to spend time with people they care about because of all the restrictions and stuff, for safety reasons, but it was still kind of tough. So when you have that ability, when you can either physically be with someone and spend a good time together, I mean, you could spend all other times together, but definitely sharing good things with someone that you care about and love, definitely do so, because don't wait on that sort of thing if you can help it. So, yes, not the most cheerful beginning to Poetry Thursday for me, but I don't know, just thought I'd share that. Let me know what you think. Should I keep carrying on? Should I have some funny poems next time? Should I keep on with the Debbie Downers? Should I share the wonderful poetry of the motorcycles street? Anyway, so that's all for now. It's a bit of a short video, but hey, some things are short in life. So this is Catherine. It's Taking Tea with Catherine. Have a lovely tea and poetry-filled day.